it and I feel a Hutchinson soda bottle. What do we have here? Look at that! That is beautiful. I'm on Main Street in Delamere, North Dakota. This town was founded in the early 1880s when the railroad set tracks through the area. Just behind me was the business district. There were businesses lining this street. At present, it's just a grassy lot. But I got permission to excavate the grounds in search of artifacts. I've got a good feeling about this. There's not much left here. There was a hotel down there, followed by a pool hall, another hotel, and another pool hall. There's a lot of ground to cover, but I'm sure there's something good buried out here somewhere. I'm toward the center of the lot and noticed this low area. So we pushed a probe rod through the ground, hit what we believe is glass. There's definitely a compaction difference. Seems like a good indicator of an early site. We'll get this thing opened up. We're into something. I've been pulling up glass fragments, chunks of rust. Looks like this could be a prescription bottle of some sort. Oh wow, that is an old one. So that's gotta be pre-1900. That's really something. And another. Look at that. Looks like a Paris style prescription. It's got that rounded lip. I'd put this thing at about 1905, so it's been in the ground almost 120 years. Looks like a beer bottle. Here we go. That's made by the William Franzen and Son Glass Company of Milwaukee. It's actually a really early machine-made piece. Almost looks like a tooled top. This is definitely in that 1910 to 1920 date range. I'd wager closer to 1910. And another beer. Another machine-made piece. Grain Belt, classic. That's one of the earlier Grain Belt beers. Yeah, that same 1910 to 1920 date range. Looks like another prescription bottle. There we go. It's a Rex Oval. It's got a reinforced lip on it. I'd put this thing at about 1910. And another prescription. So this is a tooled top piece. Could be from a local drugstore. I'd put this one at about 1905. Down here I was hitting all kinds of glass. What have we got? Oh wow. Williams and Carlton Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Now, this dumped out. This is supposed to be root beer extract. It smells exactly like modern day root beer. That's something else. Oh yeah, it's dripping out into the water. That was some strong smelling root beer. And another one. Yeah, Williams and Carlton Company. This one's got some groundwater in it, kind of a nice aqua color. You know, this was, I believe, a pool hall that stood on this lot, so they must have been mixing up root beer drinks. Let's see. I haven't found any liquor bottles yet, so maybe it was like a temperance pool hall. William Carlton. You know, this one smells like root beer too. That's wild. No way. William and Carlton. This one's full too. It reeks like root beer down here. It's overwhelming. It's leaking out into the water. These bottles have probably been sealed for 110, 120 years. This one's still full, unless it's an amber color. No, that's aqua. It's full of extract. I'm working my way across bottom. There's all kinds of stuff. Makes me wonder if the pit was cleaned out at one point and then some stuff thrown back in. No, Castoria. Dr. S. Pitchers. This was a castor oil medicine. Looks like a tooled top piece. Oh, looks like a turn of the century plate. I wonder. There it is. Yeah, I got both pieces. Sometimes these have markings on the back. What do we have here? Oh, Charles Meakin. Yeah, Charles Meakin from Hanley, England. This is a 1890s piece, I'd wager, turn of the century, very early 1900s, if so. And another root beer extract. This one's got root beer in it too. That's wild, you know? Wonder why they'd throw all these down here. Yeah, gotta pull this one out. It's been sticking out for a bit. Okay, it's a turn mold applied top beer. This might predate everything in here just by a few years. I wonder if maybe the pit was dipped or this was held onto for a while longer. I'd say this is circa 1900, maybe 1890s. And another extract. Yeah, that same one. You know, I don't know if it was a popular or unpopular product here. There's a lot of bottles, but a lot of them are still full. I think I found the sides. I was kind of clearing out what's left here. Looks like another prescription bottle. Broken plate. Blank Rex Oval. Yeah, circa 1910 tooled top piece. Oh, I have a couple more pieces here. Another blank prescription bottle, circa 1905. Another Victor Oval. These have the embossing across the face. You know, it's got a reinforced lip, another circa 1910 piece. All kinds of stuff packed in here. Machine made. It's a Chicago, Illinois. Foley and Company. So it says Foley and Company on one side. Chicago, Illinois. This was a patent medicine, probably a Foley's honey and tar. and a ketchup bottle. Yeah, I could have been having a restaurant in operation here. That's a newer piece toward the top, probably used as fill. Put this thing at about 1915. This pit's done. Here's the hull. I concluded this was an outhouse pit used by the pool hall circa 1910. Got a few bottles. I think the pit was cleaned out at one point though. Some semi-porcelain plates, a ketchup bottle, a couple patent medicines, some prescriptions, beers, and all those root beer extracts. Most of them still had the contents. That was unusual. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in. That spot cleaned up great. I did notice that the pits in this town are further back on the lots. I probed out what I believe is another one towards the alley. This one could be related to the hotel. We're getting into some kind of layer. I noticed some glass bottles, and down here is an old liquor jug. It looks like it could be intact. I've got to dig around it here to get it out. All right, so this is a ketchup bottle. This thing's probably 100 years old. Likely dates back to the 1920s. Now this could be interesting. What do we got? That's an old Edison style bulb. Now, sometimes these have markings on them, usually around the top portion. Not sure if I see anything on this one. There's a little National Mazda. You can see on the shoulder of it, it's really faint. That was the popular brand during the day. It was Edison Mazda, and I believe he sold his shares out. This thing probably dates back to about 1915. Looks like there's an old liquor jug down here. This thing may be intact. At first I gotta clear this stuff out around it. Look at that. That's a ketchup bottle. This thing's probably 100 years old. I'm guessing it dates to the 1920s, early machine made. And another. Sometimes these have markings from the company on them, these don't. It was very likely a restaurant was being run out of here. And a little ink bottle. No markings on this either. That's threaded tops, probably from the 1920s. Huh, some kind of it's like pry-off cap chemical bottle. Huh, no glass company marks I can tell. Could have been like a hydrogen peroxide or something. Look at that, it's an old light bulb. That's like an Edison style. I think these were blown into molds. They'll sometimes have markings up on the top here. I'm not sure if this one does. That's usually from the National Mazda or Edison Mazda company. I'm surprised they had electricity here this early. This thing probably dates back to about 1915. And another machine-made ketchup bottle. Same era, 1920s. Alright, another thing is down in the muck. I know there was a saloon being run out of here. There was a newspaper article from the early 1900s that says he got arrested for blind pigging. Look at that! Wow, that's a gallon-sized liquor jug. That is really something. There's no markings on it, unfortunately, but it was likely made by the Red Wing Stoneware Company of Red Wing, Minnesota. I'm down into the water table. I noticed this blue color. I was hitting objects all over down here. What do we have here? Whoa. That is something else. I think it's a salt or pepper shaker. It's some kind of milk glass of some sort, maybe custard glass. That's beautiful. It's got a ground lip. And yeah, there's just stuff all over. Got a machine-made ketchup bottle. That's circa 1920, I suppose. And another, this one still has some dried ketchup in it. You know, I'm fairly certain they were running a restaurant here now. And another one, this one's a little older. I put this thing at like 1915. Another ketchup bottle. Look at that, Blatz, Milwaukee, made by the William Franzen and Son Glass Company. That's a machine-made beer bottle. I'd put this at 1910 to 1920. You can hear stuff just scraping down there. Look at that. Wow, Wahpeton Bottling Works, Matt Gillen, proprietor. Wahpeton, North Dakota. That's a tooled top. This thing probably dates back to 1905, maybe 1910. The oldest piece we pulled up. Looks like the soil's changing color down here. Getting into a different layer. And another one. Look at that, another Wahpeton Bottling Works soda. Definitely the oldest bottles we've dug anyway. I think we found the bottom of the pit. I'm just kind of cleaning out the sides of it. Yeah, there was an enamelware bowl I was working around and saw this ketchup bottle. Looks like a ketchup bottle anyway. Similar top. Yeah, another ketchup bottle, no Maker's Mark or brand on it. And another ketchup bottle, same era. It's broken, but that's fancy. Look at that. Might be like bone china. Very fancy teacup. You can see light through it actually. Here we go. Another Wahpeton Bottling Works Matt Gillen soda. Another circa 1905 piece. Looks like a beer bottle. Let's see. Oh wow. That's an old whiskey quart. As I mentioned, the guy was running a saloon out of this place. He got fined or arrested for it. This was definitely from that saloon era. And a mason jar lid, machine-made piece, I believe. Probably for a shoulder seal jar. We've got another jug. Looks like maybe another Red Wing piece. Got a couple bottles around it here too. Ah, no embossing. That's a Red Cross style prescription bottle. I've dug these before. I don't dig them very often. It's got that tooled top. This dates from 1908 to 1916. Huh. Some kind of a patent medicine. That's machine made. Could have been like a Chamberlain's cough and cold bottle, circa 1915. Whoa, that's something else. Looks like a beater crock. Too bad this didn't have any local writing on it. Sometimes these will have a local business advertised and they can be super collectible. It's a zinc glazed piece. I'd put this thing at about 1905. Okay. Vaseline by the Chesbro Manufacturing Company in New York. Find a lot of these. Was a popular product. And another machine-made ketchup bottle. Has some groundwater in it. And another one. Yeah, these are all from about 1920. Oh, no way. Here we go. The match to that other one. Matching salt and pepper shakers in like a blue custard glass. That's amazing. Prescription bottle, no embossing. Another Red Cross style. Makes me wonder if these could be from a local drugstore. Huh. Three-piece mold, kind of a apothecary type piece. No embossing on it. That's a tooled top though. It's probably a little older than everything else we found so far. That is cool. It's like a little creamer or a water pitcher of some sort. It actually does have some writing on bottom. Let's see. Ironstone china warranted. Okay, I believe it's English made. Was well used. Had a chip taken out of the top, so they must have discarded it because of that. And a machine-made ink bottle. No markings on it. These are usually made by Carter's or Sanford's. Probably circa 1915 on this one. Huh. That has a nice design. It's got some kind of gold pattern on the rim there. Could be 24 karat gold. Huh. So that's a pre-prohibition beer. Machine made, dates from 1910 to 1920. Oh wow, almost looks like an old like Jack Daniels bottle or something. It's a tooled top, kind of a cool spiral, no name on it though, full of groundwater. And another machine-made ketchup bottle. Definitely a restaurant being run out of this place at this time. Oh wow, an alarm clock. So yeah, this is probably sitting on a nightstand at the hotel. I know they have alarm clocks in hotels in modern day. That's kind of cool. Looks like it's made out of brass. I'm working my way across. I'm starting to tunnel a bit. I usually don't go too far just for safety reasons, but this pit's almost done. Got another ketchup bottle. And a beer. Now the question is this a tooled top? I think it's a tooled top beer. So this is the earliest one we pulled up here. You know what? The seam line just cleared off from the water. That's early machine made, 1910 to 1920. Yeah, it looks like maybe a condiment container. Could be a salad dressing. Another early machine made piece. Another ketchup bottle from the hotel's restaurant. Huh, some kind of a toiletry bottle. It's got a monogram on the front. If anyone knows what that stands for, please drop a comment. It's a tooled top piece, circa 1905. And another machine-made ketchup bottle. it's done. Here's the hull. I can clear this was an outhouse pit used by the hotel in the early 1900s. It had been cleaned out. Fortunately, they left a few pieces, maybe threw some back. Got some beer bottles, prescriptions, those Wahpeton soda bottles, old light bulb, patent medicine. There was a Delamere, North Dakota advertising creamer, some inks, a liquor jug, beater crock, all kinds of ketchup bottles. Also got a old roller skate, a liquor bottle, another creamer, and some salt and pepper shakers. It was amazing we found the match. Well, there you have it. We'll get this filled back in. This spot cleaned up well. It's mainly just a gravel topsoil, so we didn't have to worry about putting any grass seed down. Just over here, noticed another sunken area. Pushed a probe rod through the ground and got similar results to the other one, some ashes and glass. We'll get this one opened up. I'm down only a couple feet here and we're hitting all kinds of glass. There's china fragments. What do we have here? Oh, that's a ketchup bottle. It's got a 3.8 on the bottom. I believe that's the Anchor Hawking Glass Company mark. So this could be a 1938. We are a bit high in this pit though, so it could drop a bit in age. I see some embossing. Huh. Easy Bright Polishes, BF Stinson Company, Buffalo, New York, USA. So this is early machine-made piece. It's got the handle for the applicator brush. This is dating back to about 1920. Oh, a little perfume bottle. It's machine made. Yeah, another circa 1920 piece. That's some really heavy glass. Oh, here we go. Looks like a Madison style liquor flask. It's pre-prohibition, probably 1910 to 1920. Machine made. You see it has that kind of bulb shape on the neck that makes it the Madison flask. And a ketchup bottle. No glass company marks on this one. I'm guessing this is also that 1920 range. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Hotel. So we're digging behind what I believe was the commercial hotel. I find these soap dishes in nearly every hotel pit. They had baths offered, so folks would eventually drop a dish, it would break, and they'd throw it down. Oh, got something down there. I'll try to dig around it. There we go, quart liquor bottle. Early machine-made piece. That's the 1910 to 1920 date range. Oh, look at that. That is nice. It's a little drinking glass of some sort. Could be maybe like a shot glass. It's machine made, circa 1920. Huh, we got some kind of a, wow, like a woman's hair comb of some sort. It must be a celluloid, maybe a Bakelite. Must have broken there, so they discarded it. Well, that's a big one. Some kind of a preserved bottle. No maker's mark on it. Machine made. This likely held olives or pickles, maybe capers. Good indicator the restaurant was running at this time. And a shoe polish. Another machine-made piece. Might have the applicator brush and even some residue inside of it. Still has a cork in the top. And what could be some kind of salad dressing bottle, condiment container. Would have had a paper label on the front, that same 1920 range. On some kind of a bowl. Looks like a granite ware. That's a form of enamel ware. It was likely damaged, so they discarded it. Well, surprisingly, we've about found bottom. I think this was a big ash dump. Still a few pieces in here though. Looks like maybe some kind of Vaseline jar. It's definitely a 1920s era, machine made. Okay, a 3-in-1 oil. This thing's a tooled top. Definitely older than the other pieces we pulled out of here. 3-in-1 oil. This was to some degree the WD-40 of its era. I think the WD-40 company actually bought this out later on. And a machine-made Crown Top beer, likely a pre-prohibition, that 1910 to 1920 range. And a circa 1920 ketchup bottle, likely from the hotel's restaurant. I'm in the southeast corner of this and hitting a few things. There we go. Looks like a pharmaceutical bottle of some sort. It's machine made. Could have held like hydrogen peroxide. And what do we have here? A grape juice bottle. Yeah, no markings, but I know Welch's and Royal Purple were popular during those times. And another one. Yeah, no markings on this one either. It's that maybe Prohibition era, just before. So it's a soda bottle, Matt Gillen from Wahpeton, North Dakota. I believe this was a tooled top. Dates to about 1905. And a ketchup bottle. No markings on this one either. Again, circa 1920. and a enamelware cooking pot of some sort. They always have these interesting patterns. This is actually metal with an enamel coating on it. It amazes me how well it holds up in the ground all these years. Here's the haul. I concluded this was an ash dump used by the hotel during the 1910s and 1920s. Most of the finds seemed restaurant related. Got a few ketchup bottles, a couple liquor flasks, food bottles, shoe polish, a perfume, drinking glass, some mixing pots, an old crock, possibly a Vaseline container, soda bottle, a couple grape juices, that oil bottle, a beer, and a chemical bottle. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in. I'm now standing near where the train station once was. The front was near where the Delamere sign is. The building extended along here. There's also a wooden boardwalk that followed the tracks. This is where the passengers would have gotten on and off the train. This is the area I'll be focusing on. I'm roughly 60 feet behind where the back of the depot was. This is the sunken area. I pushed a probe rod through. I felt what I believe is coal ash and possibly glass. That's a good indicator of an early site. I'll get this thing opened up. Down 3 feet, there's all kinds of things down here. Look at that. This thing's 120 years old. That's an Eagle style liquor flask. It's got a tooled top. This thing likely held whiskey or brandy. And an early machine-made beer. It's a Crown Top. This thing dates from about 1910 to 1920. There's something right there. Oh, there we go, a tooled top beer. So this is a little earlier manufacturing style than that previous one. It's made by the American Bottle Company. So I'd say we're in about 1910 right now. That's when the crossover happened from tooled top to machine-made bottles. And another tooled top. Looks like this is a turn mold. That's unusual. Yeah, turn mold tooled Crown Top beer. And another Eagle style liquor flask. Yeah, again, that's put this at circa 1905. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Look at that color. Still has a stopper in it. That's another liquor flask. I'm not sure if I've ever dug one quite like this. It's like a beautiful, like glowing honey amber color. All right, I feel Hutchinson soda bottle. What do we have here? J.R. Kuehl, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Look at that. That is beautiful. Tooled top. This thing must date back to about 1905. Amazing. Yeah, I can just feel the bottles down here. Really have to dig. Look at that. So this is a patented 1898. It's a Olympia style liquor flask. I've dug a lot of these over the years. Dates back to about 1900. And a tooled crown top beer made by the William Franzen Son Glass Company. Another popular bottle during its time. And another tooled crown top beer. You can see that WF&S Milwaukee. That's that William Franzen and Sons mark. It's a really nice amber color. I can barely get the trowel through here. There's so much glass. And another tooled crown top beer. This one's made by the American Bottle Company. And a prescription bottle. No embossing. It's a Rex Oval though. I believe Rex Oval styles were released by the Aubert Nestor Glass Company. It's another 1900, 1905 piece. Wow, look at that. That's an oldie. It's a patent medicine. The J.R. Watkins Medical Company, Winona, Minnesota, USA. So these are old. This is likely pre-1900. Likely sometime in the 1890s it was made. It was originally Dr. Ward's medical company, and I believe he sold out the patent to Watkins at some point around then. I can feel all these bottles down here. It's a broken shoe fly flask. And what do we got? Wow, that's an old one. This is a really old beer bottle. ABGM, Adolphus Busch Glass Manufacturing Company. This is a cork top beer. I'm wondering if it's a tooled top or an applied top. It's close. I think it's a tooled top piece. See all these specks? These are undigested seeds. That's an indicator that we're digging in the train station's outhouse pit, which may not sound so ideal, but this is where all the items were thrown, sort of as a garbage dump back in the day. Look at that little blob top beer bottle. Is that a tooled or an applied top? Looks like a tooled blob top beer. Dates to about 1895. Oh yeah, we're getting into it. This is early. That's a turn mold blob, another 1890s piece. I don't think this pit's been cleaned out. We could be getting into something really good here. All right, tooled top, maybe Mikado style flask. It's a little wider than the ones I usually dig. Could be from a different glass company. And another tooled blob top beer filled with groundwater, no glass company marks. I haven't found the bottom yet either. It's loose ground. Look at all this stuff. Another tooled blob top beer made by William Franzen Sunglass Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's a nice one. It's got some real nice bubbles in the glass. There's the wood lining. This is definitely an old outhouse pit. Might be the original one to the depot. That's wild. Then a machine-made crown top right above. I think it's possible this pit was either cleaned out and they left the bottom layers, or this just wasn't an active depot. This is a full timeline. And a tooled top full pint liquor flask. That's got a really nice embossing on it. Dates to about 1905. While clearing out the water, I noticed something sticking out. That's strange. I'm not sure what's going on. Could be a dye bottle of some sort. Looks like a kind of test tube. If anyone knows what this is, drop a comment. And looks like a wine bottle. That's an applied top turn mold piece. Could be from the 1890s, maybe even 1880s. There's just all kinds of stuff down here. So we've got a tooled crown top made by the American Bottle Company. I believe that was Streator, Illinois. And there's the wall of the pit. A broken blob top beer bottle. Here's a shoe fly style liquor flask. That's 1890s, turn of the century. Look at all this stuff. Broken beer. I'm not sure what kind of top. That one is long gone. Oh, this thing just floated up. Oh wow, another I think it's an ABGM company beer. Adolphus Busch Glass Manufacturing Company. This is a early tooled top, maybe an applied top. 1890s would be my guess. Oh yeah, definitely hasn't been dipped at this layer. Solid use layer. Broken beer. What do we have here? Okay, it's one of these AB connected beers. That's, I believe, the American Bottling Company. These date to a specific time frame, maybe 1905 to 1907, something like that. And a tooled top ink bottle. What do we have on here? Chicago, Thomas. Yeah, Thomas Ink Company of Chicago. I think this is an early machine-made piece. Again, a wide range of dates on this pit. Wow, that's a big wine bottle. Might be, is it an applied top? No, it's an applied top. Applied top turn mold. It must be a maybe a half-gallon size. All right, and a tooled blob top beer. It's hard to read the bottom, so muddy. Might not even be any embossing. I think that's a turn mold. Oh, it's got a mold seam, but it's a tooled blob top, 1890s, I suppose. I found the bottom of the pit, all but one side, working my way across. Here's a William Franzen and Son crown top beer bottle. And right on bottom of blob, so this is that era where they switched from blobs to crown tops. Tooled one circa 1900. And another 1898 patent Olympia style flask. That's kind of strange. It looks like when it was molded, the glass kind of sucked in right there. Has a indent. I don't think it's supposed to be made like that. What do we have here? It's like definitely a Mikado style liquor flask, tooled top piece. And tooled crown top, made by the American Bottle Company. And an early beer, must have been damaged when they threw it down. That's a tooled cork top, earlier one, 1890s. Working my way through the final corner. The sides are collapsing. I did find bottom though. That's a machine-made crown top beer. And a tooled crown top beer. We've got just all the ages here. This one's made by the Streeter Bottle and Glass Company of Streeter, Illinois. This pit's done. Here's the haul. I concluded this was an outhouse pit used by the train station during the 1890s into the turn of the century. Seems possible they were serving drinks here. Got some liquor flasks. Did get a patent medicine in that prescription bottle. The Fergus Falls Hutchinson soda was no doubt the best piece. Otherwise, we got a good few beer bottles, some wines, that ink, and this whole top row is also beers. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in.